Hello and welcome to this special program on Nepal television. We all know COVID-19, or better known as coronavirus, is the latest outbreak that is causing global panic in a sense. So we today focus this program on what are the realities that we are hearing on different media like international media, local media, and panic is spreading in such a way even in countries like Nepal. What is the real situation in the epicenter, Wuhan, where the epidemic started from? Today, we are privileged to have in our talk program Her Excellency HOU YANQI, the Chinese ambassador to Nepal. Your Excellency, welcome to the talk program.
Thank you.
We are reading multiple stories about it started long way back. It was something, not properly let's say, disseminated the information about this virus from China. So what exactly is the situation about this novel coronavirus outbreak in China?
It's really a very crucial time for the global international community because now the coronavirus became two hotspot issues in the world. And as a close neighbor, but unfortunately, China became the epicenter of this coronavirus. We call it COVID-19. But I'd like to share the latest situation in China because now the situation is getting better and better and very encouraging situation currently. First of all, I'd like to share some of the figures of the current situation of the epidemic. Up to now, more than 80,000 people on the Chinese mainland have been confirmed infected by the COVID-19, unfortunately. And actually, most of them are from Wuhan city and Hubei province. But we have another figures, very impressive and encouraging, that nearly, actually more than 50,000 patients have been cured and discharged from the hospital. That is a very encouraging figures to us. And actually,
so that is a clear sign that coronavirus or COVID-19 is curable.
Yes, definitely it's curable. And now I think the new cases of confirmed infections are much less than the patients released from hospital every day. On the February 5th, I think in the most difficult times. So there were 3,887 new cases of confirmed infections only on that day, but only 262 patients were cured and released from the hospital. But today, the latest number is there are 139 new cases of confirmed infections, but there are 2,189 patients were cured and released from hospitals. So you can see the change of the numbers. That shows the encouraging progress.
The figures that you're telling are the latest. That means more people are being cured and discharged than being infected.
Yes, that means more than half of the patients are already released from the hospitals. That is really good news for almost not only China, but also for the world.
That's of course a very good news that as per your figures, out of 80,000 confirmed infections, more than 50,000 have been discharged from the hospital.
Yes, that's definitely a very encouraging progress. And
what made that possible, Your Excellency? What are the measures that the Chinese government has taken to control this epidemic that has caused a panic all over the world?
So it is really a new virus, but we have to take the unprecedented measures in China. Even some of the countries criticize there's no human beings, no human rights even, but we need these kind of measures, except the treatment from the medicine and other scientific sectors. The first, strengthen the leadership and provide strong political support. This is very important and will play a central role in this campaign for the coronavirus. And the President Xi Jinping, he himself personally commands the people's war against epidemic. That means this is a kind of war of all the people. It is a kind of war without smoke. And he personally inspects the scientific research and the diagnosis of the disease and chairs meetings many times to deploy to prevention and control of the disease. And also we had mobilized all the governmental organizations to join in the battle, specified responsibilities of officials at all levels. And officials, even I can give you some example, some officials that can't fulfill their duties very well, they have already been removed.
Yes. Those things made international headlines as well. The people in charge in Wuhan of those things were discharged from their responsibilities.
Yes, but on the other hand, the outstanding officials, they will be promoted immediately at the same time on the front line, because it is really a very complex task for the officials. And the second measures or a kind of experience I can share with you is that focus on the epidemic center and implement strict nationwide control measures. That will be very important. So we have already locked down Wuhan city, suspend all public transportation and close outbound channels, and suspended and also we supervised strict home quarantine for close contacts, identify and keep cases in quarantine in a timely way. Actually, the Wuhan citizens, they have already have the stay to home for a whole month. That is kind of sacrifice for the win of the battle, I do think, I believe. And all the other provinces of the mainland in China launched the level 1st public health emergency response. Because when we announced the first level health emergency response that will be taken many of the strong measures. And also we are mobilizing local communities to identify the people, record their information, including the temperatures every day, and closely observe their health condition. And the third measure is that pull together all the necessary medical resources and extend adequate financial support to this campaign. More than 330 medical teams consisting of some 41,600 medical persons, both from civilian and military, have been dispatched to Hubei province just in a very shortly time. And very famous, the Huoshenshan and the Leishenshan hospitals were swiftly built and started operation within 2 weeks with more than 1,000 beds. And also various temporary hospitals converted from gyms, from the conference centers and from exhibition centers. So we can have more than 15,000 beds in a very short time. So that will be very helpful for the prevention and the treatment of the diseases. And actually for the financial support, all levels of government have allocated 108.75 billion RMB yuan of funds to the front line of the treatment of the epicenter. And the fourth measure is very clear, that do our best to treat cases and raise people's awareness of fending off the virus. That is a kind of public education to the public. First of all is that follow the rules of concentrating patients, experts, medical resources and treatment. And the second, adopt both traditional Chinese medicine and also the Western medicine in treatment. We also launched a public campaign to popularize the knowledge of the disease prevention and control, like hand washing, mask wearing, and distributed various publicity materials. The fifth measure, I think, is the accelerate the scientific research and deepen international cooperation. And we have already set up a national expert team to carry out scientific research, including trace the source of the virus, screen potential drugs, and research of the vaccines. And we also share the full genome sequences of the new virus with WHO and the international community immediately after the pathogen was identified on even January 7, in the very beginning. And we have invited a joint team from WHO to visit China. They offered 22 recommendations of control measures for other countries. And the 6 measures, I think it is the work in an open, transparent manner and timely clarify the rumors. Yeah, and certain Western media and individuals spread rumors and wrong informations, just like you have mentioned. Actually, this kind of infodemic caused more anxieties than the pandemic itself, we do believe. And the State Council Information Office of China have already held a news conference almost every day to brief the latest and the true situation to the normal people. And the local authorities of Hubei province also frequently held the briefings on the latest situation. And everybody can check the numbers of the confirmed cases and other news from the internet immediately at every time. Yeah, and these measures help stabilize the society and to build the confidence in the people. It is quite important. That is all the measures that we have already taken. Yeah.
Well, Your Excellency, World Health Organization recently came up with a report saying Nepal is one of the high-risk countries because of the proximity, geographic proximity with China.
Yeah.
The things that you said might not be possible in Nepal. Building a hospital in a way, coming up with great measures like that might not be possible in countries like Nepal. So what are the best things that China's experience Nepal can pick up from?
Yes, I do. This is a very good question. So if any experience that China can share with our friends, there are 3, I think, key words. The first is unified action. It is quite important. The second is transparent information. The third is efficient emergency response mechanism. These are quite important. So I can give you the detailed clarification that for the first, the unified action, because everyone should adopt a very responsible attitude and scientific attitude and act in a well-coordinated manner. This is belong to everybody, not belong to the government or some individuals. It is belong to the whole society. And also I think different levels of government and social organizations, ordinary people, they all have different duties and responsibilities for the campaign. And the second keyword is the transparent information. I believe that the confidence is more important than gold. The rumors and the discrimination can only cause nervous, even panic. This is really too bad. And I think the timely data sharing and the true situation will help people stabilize the expectation and strengthen their trust in government. This is also very important. And the third is the efficient emergency response mechanism. An efficient emergency response mechanism is with significant importance with which double our efforts. Not only need, because when we cope with this kind of emergency, even we can call it a crisis of the public health. So not only we need to store and produce enough medical materials, but also have to do other tremendous works, like guarantee the supply of food, even, and ensure the operation of the factories in a normal way, and so on. And it is a systematic project. We need the cooperation and coordination among many departments and organizations in the government. So I think this is a kind of experience, not only for China, but also for the other countries' government.
Developing countries like Nepal.
Developing countries.
What cooperation exactly had China done with Nepal regarding control of this virus?
Yeah, we are the close neighbor. After the outbreaking of the coronavirus, the embassy of China, I immediately got the contact with the Ministry of Culture, Tourism and the Civil Aviation. You know, because this year is the Visiting Nepal 2020 year, so the first ministry on contact is the Cultural and Tourism and Aviation Ministry to briefing the new epidemic. And also we have established the close contact with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Health and Population, and also under the framework we have the close contact with the CDC of Nepal. And also we share the latest information, discuss the joint prevention and control measures in Nepal. And also we have been in close communication with the WHO representative here in Nepal, because there is office of WHO in the Kathmandu, and we listened very careful from their opinions and suggestions, then participate even the coordinated meeting convened by the UN organizations here. And the third, the Chinese embassy assigned specific staffs to form a joint working group with the above mentioned departments to share the information in a timely manner. And also the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of China, in Beijing, in the headquarters, and the local government in Hubei province and other provinces, we had close contact with the Embassy of Nepal in Beijing, China, to take care of the Nepalese students and other workers or laborers that still working in China. We also provided all necessary facilitations and assistance after the decision of Nepal government to bring back all the students from Wuhan. And I think the other cooperation is we have taken initiative to adopt measures to protect Nepal from the epidemic. So the first is some airline companies from China canceled some flights between the two countries, and the passengers with body temperature higher than normal, they are not allowed to on board. And the second, some Chinese workers have to postpone their plan to return back to Nepal, because during the outbreak of the epidemic, so we are celebrating our Spring Festival. Many of the workers, they return their hometown for the holidays. In the end of January, we banned all the group visit of the tourists to other countries, including Nepal. That is why you can see that lower and lower number of the visitors, and even especially the tourists.
That has led to the cancellation of Visit Nepal 2020 as well.
Yes, yes. I think it's very scientific and helpful to the health of the local people. So maybe all the corporations and the measures will affect a little bit on our cooperation currently, but I think it is temporarily. Yeah.
Well, Your Excellency, if I say the impact, the economic impact of this coronavirus will take some time to, let's say, take care, will I be wrong, or what do you think is the exact impact of this corona outbreak in China?
Actually, it is really inevitable that Chinese economy will suffer. Definitely, especially in the first quarter of this year, no doubt about that. But we will never pursue the economic growth at the cost of people's health and safety. The most priority work in China and the target right now is to contain this virus as soon as possible. Chinese economy has strong resilience and great potential, so we are well prepared and confident to overcome the difficulties. So now some of the finance and economic policies have been taken and released to support the different industry departments, especially during these crises or emergency. The small and medium enterprises, they suffered a lot. So we have already issued and declared some of the promoting policies to the small and medium enterprises, including tax reduction, and to give them special loan. And the production is now gradually resumed in an orderly way, of course, except for Hubei city. The other provinces, now it is already resumed in a very orderly manner. So when the epidemic is over, the subdued consumer demand will be released rapidly, and the dynamism of China will rebound strongly, and the market will continue to grow. But on the other hand, there are some new areas we found during this emergency. What's more, some new growth point is emerging, like the online working, distance learning, and online entertainment even. So this will promote long-term development of the Chinese economy.
Do you mean to say that this has also evolved some new type of business models in China?
Yes. So this is a kind of new sectors maybe after the outbreaking. So when we win the battles, there are new emerging sectors that will be a promotion of the economy. So that is very interesting. So anyhow, so we do believe that these kind of difficulties will be a temporary one.
Your Excellency, what end do you see to this problem in the immediate future?
Oh, this is a very scientific question. Actually, so now you can see that the situation in China is better.
And what exactly the world community needs to do to contain it as well?
Yeah, actually, I think an important lesson we learned from the epidemic is that the human beings are in the shared future, definitely. So disease respects no border. This is really true. And up to now, I think more than 70 countries and more than 10,000 people have been infected. Unfortunately, yeah, a collective response from the international community is necessary. The first, cooperated and coordinated under the framework of WHO is very important. WHO plays a central role in responding to the international public health emergencies. And since the outbreak of the epidemic, WHO has done a lot of work, including the early warning of epidemic, and tracking disease transmission, and strengthening global diagnostic capabilities, and also accelerating vaccine development and organizing global assistance. So under this framework, every country has a part to play, not only the WHO. I believe that the developed countries, they could take their advantages of research work. And developing countries like us could improve public awareness. So that's important. And WHO is able to provide in-time assistance to those countries that may still weak in public health system. Also, so we need to trust and to build the confidence each other that China receives sincere and friendly assistance from the international community. Maybe you have already know that more than 62 countries and 7 international organizations have assisted epidemic-related supplies to China.
Nepal.
Of course, included Nepal. And we will always take the kindness into our hearts, especially in the difficult times. And China related deeply to the difficulties of some countries. There the outbreak is getting more severe. As a responsible major country like China, so we have shared our experience in epidemic control and treatment, and also other medical supplies, even to Pakistan, to Japan, South Korea, Iran, and African countries. And while making the continued efforts at home, because we are still the epicenter currently, China will strengthen the cooperation at regional and international level until we win the final victory. Recently, many Nepali peoples that left messages to me through the Twitter and some other channels to extend their sincere prayers and solidarity and the best wishes for the Chinese people.
Before we conclude, Your Excellency, I'd like to ask you what message you would like to give to all our viewers and all the Nepali people who are watching us right now, because our society has also started being disturbed a bit.
Yeah.
I would not say panicking, or I would not say a bit, let's say, concerned too much, but of course, being in a close proximity towards the epicenter of this epidemic, the society, our Nepali society, is also slightly little disturbed now, whether this thing is coming to Nepal or what will happen to us So what message you would like to give to all our viewers and general people?
I think the first of all is believe to the government, because I noticed that the government of Nepal have already announced and give the advice to the normal people, and also have already taken some measures to prevent this kind of spreading of the virus in Nepal. All the measures will be very helpful for the normal people and the social society. They could abide by all the rules and the measures that the government have already issued. The second, I think, still the data sharing immediately is quite important, not only in the local Nepal society, but also in the other epicenters. We have to provide all the data, latest data to the local people to let people know what is the real situation in the world. And also, I think the third is the coordinated and also cooperation between the different parts of the social life. This including the central government, local government, and the community of the normal people, even from medicines supplies, the food supplies, and also the schools. Many of the social aspects should be mobilized during this special time. And of course, we know maybe there are some of the impact on the economy growth in this year, especially for Nepal. We know that Nepal is working very hard for the goal of prosperous Nepal and happy Nepalese. That is a very ambitious goal. We welcome very much. But at this crucial time, sometimes we have to sacrifice some of the digital economy growth, but to protect the public health, the people. This is the priority in this country. So I believe at the international organizations' help and also the assistance, of course, from China, if in need, we will never retreat our helping hand. So we will giving our helping hand to the close neighbor. That is a time for China to return our friendliness and the good willingness to Nepal. So we do believe this country will be a Buddha-blessed country, and with the endeavor from the all aspects. So we hope that Nepal will be a disease-zero territory in the world.
Thank you, Excellency, for your kind words. At a time when China is battling against this epidemic, you are extending your cooperation to countries like us. Thank you so much for your time and sharing the experience of coronavirus and how we can learn from the experience of China in developing countries like Nepal. Thank you so much for giving your time to us.
Thank you. Good luck to all the Nepalese friends here. Thank you. Bye-bye and namaste.
Well, we were talking to Her Excellency HOU YANQI, the Chinese ambassador to Nepal, and we talked about the measures China has taken and what are the realities back in China and what cooperation can Nepal get from China and what can we learn from what China has done to control this epidemic. Thank you so much for being with us. Until next time, from the entire team of this program, it's me, Devendra Subedi, saying bye-bye and namaste.